We transition from issues of diversity to navigating life after high school for young people with disabilities. It's a moment that some refer to as a cliff, and it's a crucial transition in one's life that WXXI is exploring through a new podcast. It's called Exited, and it follows the lives of 8 young people with disabilities growing up and trying to find their place in a world that so often labels them as being different. Take a look.
You know, every kid on the spectrum has a unique interest, and one of the unique interests that Nate has is the Titanic story. He loves drawing the Titanic and tracing it.
So I will show you my recent ones I did over the years. But here's my favorite part. There's the ship breaking in two.
Nate's such a wonderful kid, and he has so much to offer, and you want him just to be able to do that further down. We'll get there in our own way, but it's just going to make it so much harder the way the educational system has it set up right now.
Feels like I'm getting there. I'm doing something to make my family happy. I'm proud.
Joining me at the desk to discuss the meaning behind Exited, the process of transition for individuals with disabilities, and more is one of the producers of Exited, WXXI's Veronica Volk, and it's great to have you back. Thank you for being here. So first, it's called Exited. Explain the significance behind the title.
Exited refers to this time in a person's life when they move from in the school system to whatever happens next. So it means they're moving on past high school. They might be getting a diploma or turning 21, but they're not graduating in the traditional sense. They're being exited.
Well, I know for almost about a year, I would say, you and producer and reporter Karen Shakurji, you were given this inside look into what it's like for 8 young people. We're talking between the ages of 17 and 26. You also got to meet and work with their families, and they really invited you in and gave you this opportunity to document that journey. And the very first episode with Nate, who we just got to see, I heard this term called the cliff. What does that mean exactly?
Families especially call it the cliff, and some also people who manage these transitions as well, because it becomes unclear what happens after that. You know, you have a school system who's providing a lot of programs, transportation, other sort of support services for young people with disabilities, and then after that, what happens next is kind of up in the air. They have to navigate all these new systems and find all these new programs kind of on their own and work with new people. So it's confusing.
I would imagine the transition process looks different for everybody.
Yes, it looks different for just about everybody we talk to, and we kind of focus on a different point of life and a different kind of transition in every episode.
Well, in the first episode, as I mentioned, we get to meet Nate, and we get a little bit of a taste of what it's like in terms of trying to, that diploma process. And it's, I would think that some viewers and some listeners who check this out, they will learn about something that they did not know about before when it comes to the hoops that one has. Can you explain just a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, the way that I've kind of been describing this as we talk about it in our meetings is that to a lot of people, the system seems invisible when it works for them. And what we experience in reporting a lot of this is that there are a lot of steps towards getting a diploma, taking Regents tests, you know, passing different tests and classes and whatnot, that some people never experience. And we really wanted to tell the story of what happens when you're kind of working through life in a different way, as a lot of these people with disabilities are.
There was this theme that seems to go throughout the 5 episodes of the podcast, the searching for a sense of belonging. Why does that theme seem to run through? Why is the sense of belonging so important?
Well, I mean, it's something that we all go through, right? You go through it in high school when you're trying to find, you know, people that you get along with. You go through it in college when you're trying to figure out what you want to do next, what kind of job you want to get, what kind of life you want to lead. And it's just this universal kind of feeling of making your way through life and finding a place that you fit in. And we really wanted to tap into that.
So Veronica, do me a favor, just kind of walk the viewers through just a little bit of what we can expect throughout the 5 episodes. The first one is out. Talk to us a little bit about what's being covered.
Absolutely. So the first episode covers, you know, Nate's story and his problem with trying to get a diploma to move on after high school. Our next episode is going to focus more about the college experience and college-like programs for young people with disabilities. We are also going to be talking about sheltered workshops and the confusion around whether or not they will be shut down, integrated workspaces, and more about that. We're also going to be talking about day habilitation programs for young people with disabilities and the family dynamics. You know, people within their families working out what's going to happen in the next phase of life.
What do you want the listeners and the viewers watching this program right now, what do you think is the most important thing for them to gain and checking out Exited?
I mean, from my perspective, I just really want to tell the stories, you know, of the people that we're talking about here. Karen has done some amazing reporting and some amazing interviews, but I think what we really want to do is just kind of like tell stories about the human experience, maybe from a perspective that other people haven't heard.
That's great. And I totally agree with you in terms of it being a perspective people have not heard. I got to check out the first episode before it was released, and absolutely phenomenal reporting. So congratulations to you and the team for that. So we have to close for now, but do be sure to check out the very first episode of Exited. It is out right now. Just go to exitedpodcast.org. Now, Exited is a podcast from WXXI's Inclusion Desk, a multi-platform reporting effort to inform and transform attitudes and behavior about inclusion. The Inclusion Desk grew from the Move to Include partnership between WXXI and the Golisano Foundation.